this white kid, regular like Caucasian man, and he's like mocking Future and Gucci Mane like rap music. And like people are like, this shit hard. It's not even like satire. It's like, I'm just joking, I'm just mocking it. But I'm like, no, you can't do. And I hold rap music so close to my heart because this shit changed my life and everyone's life around me. And I'm a nerd about this is like weird. And I'm looking at it and something about it like don't even sit well with me in comparison to someone like a Mac Miller or Eminem, who it didn't seem like they was mocking it. They had a genuine love for it, and they were still just being,
for sure.
So yesterday, Tyler, the Creator, called out Ian for being a culture vulture and making a mockery of the genre that Tyler and so many more love so much, hip-hop. He basically called out Ian for exploiting a culture that he's not from and using his privilege to succeed where his black peers cannot. And most importantly, Tyler thinks Ian is ingenuine, unlike rappers such as Eminem or Mac Miller. So I'm gonna go over what exactly Tyler said, the reaction, both negative and positive, and even Ian's unofficial response to the man who signed him. So let's get into it. Alright, so I already played you the video, so you know what he said, but I do need to give you a little more context. In this entire interview, which was about like 30 minutes long, there were a couple more parts where Tyler, the Creator, was expressing his frustration with hip hop. And of course, the conversation kind of led there. He didn't come out and just diss these people. He said, I hate when people care more about money than actually rapping. And he made a pretty clear diss here at Ian, because that description, mocking Gucci Mane and Future, listen to Ian's beats, a white boy, Caucasian, normal looking. It's Ian, all right? And of course, Tyler is not rocking with it. He thinks it's weird. And the moment this dropped, Twitter was going crazy. Someone said, Tyler said it perfectly, I refuse to take Ian seriously as a rapper. Everyone I know that listens to him is under the legal drinking age. He's a fad, no one will be talking about him. In 2 years, he'll die out and we'll try to revive his career by doing the Lil Pump grift. I see it now. Now, Ian's fans are very young, and having young fans is the most dangerous position you can be in as an artist, because what do young people do? They get older, they grow up, and as they do, their tastes change. And this Twitter user is not wrong, but the original quote tweeter said, I will never be able to take Ian seriously. And this is a problem for him. And what Tyler said does have to do with this, because he basically said, I don't respect him. That's what you can summarize his entire response as. And if as an artist, you're not respected, which is what Ice Spice is falling into right now, you're kind of So let me explain. I feel like a lot of these rappers, and I'm not going to call Ian underground because if you look at his Spotify, got a lot of streams. But if you come or look at where Ian comes from, a lot of these rappers aren't exactly taken too seriously. For example, Laserdom, etc., right? They're kind of just like fun artists. I feel like to have a strong, long-lasting, successful career, you have to push it a little further. And right now, Ian's whole shtick is that he's a white boy that's hard, that raps about these rough things, has got like a cool flow. So maybe they're right. Another thing is what he's doing inspiration, or is it biting and stealing? So Sunny Digital said, it's crazy they calling shoddy red beats Ian type beats now. It's crazy. So Ian's been using like a lot of like old Gucci and Jeezy beats, and he's even been remaking stuff like kinda and flipping it, or his producer is. And people are either taking this as inspiration or theft from a culture that's not his, of course, right? So I wouldn't say he's making a mockery of what hip hop is. I think that people like Tyler, it sounds like that, but I wouldn't say he's making a mockery of hip hop. I would just say he's being very bold. You know what I mean? I feel like Ian is like, it's like if someone went into a lab and was like, all right, we got this white rapper, right? How far can we go with this? Like, make him rap about, street things. And yes, if you look at some of his lyrics, he does rap about this stuff, making cap rap. Let's put him on old Gucci and Jeezy beats and Zaytoven, like retro production. But let's make him look like a lacrosse player. Let's make him look like the most average looking white dude possible. And I'm not gonna lie, like, Ian is the most regular white looking dude you could possibly show. I don't know how to explain it, he just is. And I think this response from Tyler, the Creator, by the way, Tyler isn't the first person to say this. There have been multiple in the past of people, calling out Ian for being a culture vulture or taking from like hip hop or whatever you want to say. I feel like clearly people feel this type of way or some type of way about Ian and what he's doing. Yo guys, quick plug. I just dropped a Black Cray show vlog. I don't know if you're a fan of Black Cray, fan of me, you want to watch it, check it out, make fun of me in the comments, feel free to do so. You know, it's all good. Just want to plug it. And I'm going to link the vlog in the description and pin it in the comment section. Here's a little snippet. Go to a Black Cray show. We're going with a bunch of people, like a bunch of my friends. We're super late though, as usual. Luca, or a sad part, he's about to come out. We might eat before, or we're just gonna like go.
Hey, nice camera. Or nice hot dog.
Yeah, let me know what you think, and back to the video. Someone else said, I'm definitely judging your taste in music if you actually think that Ian guy is talented in any way imaginable. It's actually embarrassing how easily people will eat up a marketing campaign that is so blatant in what it's trying to do. Okay, so first of all, every musician is marketed through some type of campaign. I'm just gonna skip that, but he said what he said. Another person said, people will call you an old head for not liking a suburban white rapper doing Future cosplay, like funny as shit. Ian Hate Me verse might be verse of the year, and Tyler's right. Two things can be true. Rip Mac Miller. And by the way, he was joking about the verse of the year. He just said it was hard. But anyways, you know, there was a lot of love for Ian. It wasn't just hate. It wasn't just like, oh, he's so blah, you know. Most of it was people calling Tyler an old head. Someone said, new old head just dropped. And I don't really think the old head argument is valid. Number one, Tyler the Creator is old, but he's not that old. He's also been very accepting of many things, you know. He has a very, like, I would even say, like, radical style of rapping himself. He's very out there. He's said in the past, yo, do whatever you like as long as it's fun for you, which is kind of ironic considering what he just said. So this is like one of the most accepting rappers out there. He put Playboi Carti on Earthquake. By the way, he didn't need to do that. You know, he's been very accepting, and he definitely a lot of things. So for him to not accept Ian definitely says something, in my opinion. I don't think he's an old head for that. You know what I mean? It's also a take that you'd have to, I guess, be a little older to say as well. You know, you wouldn't catch an 18-year-old saying, man, he's stealing like Gucci. You know what I mean? He's 18. Like we were, I don't know, like in elementary school when all that shit, or even like in preschool or kindergarten. You know what I mean? Like, so that kind of makes sense. But I don't think this is like old head talk. Like I don't think this is like Ebro, Lil Uzi, or Joe Budden, Lil Yachty. You know what I mean? It's not that bad. Someone else said, Ian hard, I'm gonna stand on that unless he gives me a solid reason to say otherwise. Okay, so number one, this is what he's talking about, which is kind of ironic. He's saying, yo, it's not about like, because he didn't call Ian's music trash. You know what I mean? He said it wasn't genuine. And he said that Ian is kind of like if Ian can become a huge successful rapper, rap is a joke right now, you know? So I think this guy kind of missed the point, but it's also important to remember because this is how most people think, you know? I'm not a huge fan of Ian, but some of his songs are hard. You know what I mean? Like I'll check him out. If he drops a song that's really good, I'll listen to it, and so will so many other people. If he drops a song and starts trending on TikTok and it starts doing numbers, people are gonna listen to it. They don't care, you know what I mean? They just don't give a it just is what it is. Another person said, I get it, but why as an established rapper, use your platform to insinuate that someone you don't know is mocking rap? So he didn't really come out there and say this and that. And what's also very interesting is on that same podcast, Tyler the Creator apologized for his remarks and comments towards Eminem that were hurtful. He was like, man, I was so stupid and I was wrong and this and that about saying that towards Eminem and blah blah blah. Like talking about Eminem's like journey with drugs and stuff. Anyways, I'm sure you guys don't care. But he was able to admit his wrongs and understand where he overstepped. So once again, he does not think that what he's saying here is crazy at all. And I don't think he really took it as like, oh, I'm tearing this guy down, because he didn't really. Someone else said, this guy is so important to music right now. 42 Daily, shout out Unk. And people were kind of hating. Yo, play that new Ian. The music is not hidden, fam. So for context, 42 Daily is like a 25-year-old white man, but some other people said, for 15-year-old white boys, yes, he could disappear right now and literally nothing would change, LMAO. You could say that about a lot of rappers, but I don't think Ian is so important for music right now. Like, what barriers is he breaking? What is he doing that's so crazy? You know, that's not that crazy. Another person said, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the Steve Harvey, insinuating that Tyler has become an old head. Anyways, the internet was kind of split, but what I like to highlight here, and this is what's very important, because I actually didn't go over the original replies to the posts that posted this video that blew up on Twitter, because I was thinking in my head, yo, I don't even want to be unbiased because this post is Kirko. They post a lot of like Cardi and Uzi, and they post, I mean, they're not like known for that, but they post, what I'm trying to say is their audience is mainly young people. But then I was just thinking, and I was like, you know what? Honestly, that's not really a bad thing. Because if you think about it, nobody over 23, 24, 25 is listening to Ian. You know, people of Tyler's age, I know I just said he wasn't an old head, but he is a little old, you know what I mean? So no one in his age is really listening to Ian. That being said, a lot of these takes you're seeing from these people who are older, you know, they're like 25 probably, are not really part of the demographic Ian is trying to reach. So I feel like a lot of this discourse doesn't really matter in terms of his success. However, there were quite a bit of people underneath that age that thought the same thing. And just think of Ian as a joke, you know what I mean? Because comparatively, if you think of like Mac Miller, he just doesn't even come close. Anyways, this post or this little video snippet made a lot of waves. Enough for Boo Thiam, who's the brother of Akon, former manager of Kanye, and the guy who signed Ian to Columbia, had to speak on it just to clear the air or respond. He said, "Yo, at Felicia the GOAT," that's Tyler's at, "I signed Ian and I'm from Atlanta. He sounds nothing like Gucci or Future. Lol, it's called influence. But I never thought I'd see a day where you become old and hate on the youth." Okay, so first of all, and this is what a lot of people called him out for, and rightfully so. They said, hey, not everything is a hate on the youth situation, you know? But I feel like by framing, and this is what other fans are doing as well, by framing Tyler as, oh, he's just an old head, they're trying to like not really respond to what Tyler was saying. And that's kind of what Boo did here. He said, yo, I'm from Atlanta. He doesn't sound like Gucci or Future. Okay, so I don't think Tyler meant that he sounded like them. I think he meant he's making a mockery of them. You know what I mean? By hopping on like their type beats and having so-called inspiration in his eyes, where really just mockery, of course, right? Someone else said, this proved Tyler's point. And here's what the account further said. For the people that are stuck on the Future and Gucci comment, watch the full interview. Tyler's point was that a lot of current people aren't their authentic selves or unique in music. They just take a bunch of stuff from artists, so nobody has a unique sound, which doesn't necessarily read as being authentic. This is what I talked about in the video from the day before yesterday. His manager is just saying it's just influence. So yeah, Tyler the Creator was calling out Ian for being unoriginal, not being a direct clone or, you know, and he just thinks it's whack. And by the way, people were also making fun of him just because he signed him. Guy who's financially invested in Ian defends Ian. Whoa, you know, it's kind of funny. And by the way, if you go on his Instagram, because he deleted that story post fast, like he deleted it fast. They're just cooking him in the comments. And honestly, I respect him for not just deleting all those comments because he totally could. But yeah, you know. Anyways, I did want to touch upon something that was kind of funny. So there's this show called Atlanta, and it's by Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino. I don't know what you know him from. Probably know him as that. And he produced it and he acted in it, and I believe he wrote a lot of it as well.
Now, can you guess which one of these people is a Billboard charting rap artist with billions of streams globally? It's simple. We all know that optics is everything. With my system, I'm tossing your black ass a life raft. I can help my brother better when I'm at the top. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look at this. Memorize this. Go to sleep dreaming about this.
Anyways, he has in the show, there's like this guy who's like struggling. He's like a manager. His cousin is a rapper. I watched it like a little bit back, so I forget the rapper's his name, but he's just a rapper. That's all you need to know. And you know, he starts managing him, and the rapper becomes successful. And anyways, in one of the later seasons of the show, the rapper is kind of he's very successful, but he's kind of at the point where he's reaching the twilight of his career. You know, he's like very big right now, but in 5 years, in just some time, he's gonna be a little old, and they're gonna move on. You know, he's gonna become an old head. But basically, the rapper asks him, "Yo, what does YWA stand for?" And he's like, "Young White Avatar." And what he says is, "Yo, you have to sign a white kid, a young white boy. And if you can sign them, if they can become successful, they can be a cash cow for you because they can go much farther than you can." And they kind of just don't say it, but they're like, you know, he's white, he has more, blah, blah.
What's the YWA, man?
Hey, young, white, avatar. One of them kids that you was hanging out in the studio with yesterday. See, you gotta get one and train him and nurture him and try to catch them all.
The Pokemon.
Exactly.
And, they joke about it. And in the show, that rapper actually does it. And the white kid overdoses, so it's like a joke. Ha ha ha, not funny. But the other ones do it, and they go to the Grammys, and they're basically making money off these young white rappers.
I can make an album better than them kids, win a Grammy, and then use the clout to go on tour again.
And your album would be better. But nobody wants to hear you.
So people were like, yo, it's kind of funny that Boo got himself a YWA, or young white avatar, and that's like his bag now, you know what I mean? By the way, Tyler may have said this, but it's nothing new. You know, Anthony Fantano called Ian trash.
Moving on from there. Ian, never stop. This is terrible. Just listen to Playboi Carti instead. This is awful. Save yourself a stream. Save yourself a minute. Save yourself a headache. Just move on with your life. You don't need this.
People have been calling out Ian's beats for being flips, or, you know, very inspired, which is, you know, I guess you could say controversial. And someone even referenced a Miles Davis interview. If you want to know what he said, you can watch the whole interview. The interview is actually kind of crazy, but the interviewer. But Miles Davis said something that stuck with a lot of people. He said white musicians tend to play behind the beat. And if you're wondering what he means by behind the beat, he means that they kind of lag behind black musicians. You know what I mean? Like rock and roll was stolen from black people. That's like a known fact, you know what I mean? That happened in the 20th century. And what he's saying here, and you know, it's gone on and on and on, and it's been like a whole thing. You know, I believe Elvis used to be able to make a cover of a black artist song and it would just go bigger. And, you know, white people, I guess, you know, they could just do that back in the day. Anyways, with Ian here, you know, he's not like, not some shit like that, but he is, you know, they're saying he lags behind the beat, such as he's 15 years late, you know what I mean? And he's using this, and he's using like this retro type of wave, you know, taking from black culture, because I guess he's not cultured himself, you could, you know, infer, or doesn't have any new originality or any uniqueness to him, and he's using that, you know, prop himself up. Now, I feel like this is a huge over analysis of Ian. I don't think Ian is that deep. I think Ian is literally just, you know, he's here for the time. If he sticks, he sticks. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I don't think it's that deep. But, you know, since Tyler the Creator called him out, you know, okay, we'll go there. And honestly, I think the point stands. Clearly, Ian he's not like Machine Gun Kelly unoriginal, but he's also, you know, not the most original guy there, and you can't just call everything inspiration, you know? Another thing you also have to note is, as a white rapper, you're always gonna have to fight these accusations and these, there are always gonna be these conversations around your music, you know what I mean? It's not gonna be easy. This is a thing that's happened to every white rapper. It happened to Eminem, you know? That's the most famous example. And, you know, you can either prove that you're genuine and you're real, or you can't. And I would say with Ian, the reason why a lot of these conversations are even being entertained and why people are even saying these things, because right now Ian has not proven himself. You know, sure, he has a song on TikTok that's going kind of crazy, but, you know, or had one. That's not really going to do anything for you. Sure, you had a snippet that was kind of viral and people are like, oh, it's cool, but that's not really going to do much for you. Now, you have to really stamp yourself, show that you're here to stay. And by the way, even then, you might not really get much love. You know, for example, when Macklemore won Best Album over Good Kid, Mad City and won the Grammy, people were like, what? And, you know, nobody gives a f that Macklemore won that Grammy. So Ian could still go on to accomplish great things, and he might never get that respect. But will he even do that? Very hard to say. Right now, it doesn't look like he has that potential, but we'll see. Anyways, I honestly mess with Ian. I like some of his music. Never Stop, Figure It Out, Wimbledon. Some of his older music before he even had Figure It Out was pretty good. I like Bentayga off his recent album, you know. There's some cool tracks in there. You can't act like Magic Johnson is hard. Like, he doesn't make bad music. It's pretty hard. But at the same time, I totally see where people are coming from. Anyways, you let me know you think
Just put the fries in the bag.
Tyler was right, wrong. Just let me know. And thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and see you tomorrow. Bye.